Thank
Anand,
you so much,
sir.
guys, for joining this course. And again, I welcome you all in our business analyst credential course. And as we have moved forward with our 10th day, and till now, what we have discussed is the introductory part of business analyst course. And we have also talked about the collaboration with a stakeholder and also talked about customer discovery. So today, from today onwards, basically, we will be starting on our business process mapping, and then we will move forward with the requirement, user stories, and UAT. And in the introductory part, which we have covered on 2nd July, we have covered the differences between two different people, like the admin and the BA, and how they are, based on their profile, based on their activities, what exactly the differences are. And even we have talked about the best practices for business analyst. We also looked into how you can become a detective, because being a business analyst you need to query enough to understand full understanding of your requirements. And we also looked upon the development models and the differences between each and every stages of your implementation cycles. And in the collaboration with the stakeholder, which having a 24% weightage, we looked into some kind of attentions regarding the whiteboarding side. And we also looked into how we can get a full 360-degree view of a customer. We also looked into the demo of storytelling, how we can tell the stories to your customers and the stakeholders. We also looked into some kind of influences techniques, which is being useful in our day-to-day basis, day-to-day business basically. And we also looked into how we can build a relationship with the client and its stakeholders. And then on 5th July, we have moved forward with the sales part of our business analyst, where business analysts deal with the sales and their best practices. And then we have also looked into the how we can align with the stakeholder. What are the basic steps to align with the help with some kind of tools. And then we also looked into the performance of each and everyone those who are involved in our business, and also talked about some organizational challenges and the leadership. Then we have also talked about the center of excellencies, and then we have moved forward with the prototyping. So these are the things which we have covered in this particular segment. And then we have moved forward with the customer discovery, which is having a 17% weightage. And in this customer discovery, we have segmented in two different parts. First one, where we have talked about the theoretical discoveries, like how we can make sure that customer is a medium to work on, and how we can, based on that particular customer, we can work and align with that with the help of some tools, like and with the help of some models, V2MOM model. We also looked into the governance basic, and also looked some strategy development of a content. And then we have started with our Salesforce journey, or you can say a CRM journey, where we have looked into the user interface, how CRM look like, and also how we can get customized in order to understand the full details which is being available in our Salesforce. We also looked into some tools like Salesforce Optimizer, and also looked into some security models, how admin ensure that data is being secured, and also looked into how we can ensure that our Salesforce org is excellent in order to build certain process into it. And also we have looked into setup, how we can check the audit trail, and what are the changes which has been done in our setup audit trail. We also looked into the readiness for our release updates, and then how we can build a particular Salesforce org incompatible with the new releases. Then, in our Salesforce journey, we also looked into some technical, or you can say some tools, where we have talked about Jira, SignNow, Smartsheet, Confluences, and Gantt chart and Trello. These are the tools which basically help a project manager or a business analyst to monitor a particular project or a particular product development. So how we can do this with the help of these tools, we have looked into this yesterday itself. So with this, we have completed a technical part of our journey. or you can say where Salesforce got involved in our business analyst. And even we also looked into some tools which is been helpful for you to monitor your project. Then from today onwards we will be starting our BPM. BPM is business process mapping, which is having a 16% weightage in our exam. And then in our BPM, basically, we will be looking into how particular business is being mapped and what exactly the business analyst role in mapping that process. And we will be looking into the journey of a customer and how we can track that journey from the starting point to the ending point. And even there are some models involved in journey mapping. Basically we will be looking into that models as well, which we say as a design patterns, because there are multiple models involved in journey mapping, and how we can build those diagrams and what are the key steps to build those diagrams, what are the essential steps. Basically we will be looking into this. And then, as I promised, that we will be talking about the requirement part as well. So from tomorrow we will be looking into how we can gather the requirement and what are the types of document which we have just take a glimpse in our earlier days. So with the help of those document we will be gathering the requirement on the basis of real time scenarios. And then we will be looking into how we can build a document, and with the help of some 5 steps. Okay, so there are things which we will be going to discuss tomorrow, and there are things which we have been discussing today. So on, let's start mapping a business process, what exactly the business process is, and how business process mapping is involved in our day-to-day business, what exactly business analysts do, how process is been making impact on a customer journey. So till now what we have covered, I believe that you guys have any kind of issues, please do reach out to me on Slack, and bear with me for this theoretical session where we will be discussing about mapping a journey of a customer. Till now, is there any doubt or queries? Please feel free to ask. Is there any issues so that I can, start moving forward? So I take it as a no. All right. So as you can see in the screen, that it says that let's start with the mapping a process. So let's deduct this particular sentence in different part. Process mapping. Process mapping is basically a visual representation of your particular business process. I believe this is pretty simple, right? Because you can easily understand by looking into the visual diagram which has been showing in your screen. You can get an idea that okay, these are the business processes which I have to work on, and it involves various activities and might be define some kind of businesses. And basically it also shows you that who is responsible for what, right? So this particular mapping helps you to understand what exactly we need to do and when we have to do it. Okay, and if we have completed certain part of the business process, how we can measure that thing that okay, now I am being completed in this particular part. Okay, so the main purpose of business process mapping is to show the relationship between these two particular inputs till the output, or you can say till the time when you have a concise result, or you can say till the time when customer get involved in your cycle and they are satisfied with your process or product. So in business process, we ensure that it should be clear, consistent, and easily visualized in order to understand what exactly the meaning of particular process. It might be have some objective which has been in which has been taken from your customer side. In order to make sure that this particular objective is aligned with your company values or capabilities, you build this kind of visual diagrams which is being saying as a business process mapping. Okay, so it's give you a clear and detailed business process to show whether or not is there any improvement needed, or whether or not your process is being helpful enough to make certain outcome of it on it. Am I clear?
Yes, you are.
Okay, thank you so much, Gandharv. So the business process mapping help you to give certain outcomes with the help of recognizing of this particular process, but there are some best practices to make this particular best business process. First one, you have to understand that okay, my clear understanding of requirement should be covered, and then you have to apply business process mapping to the right type of process, because process will be reflecting of your decision making as well. Yes, Swati, you raised a hand, please do it.
Excuse me, Naman. I'm not able to see the screen. I'm not sure what happened.
Guys, is this happen with you all? I believe I'm
No, we can
showing
see.
you the let's start mapping
Um,
process, which is our 54th slide.
okay. I'm not able to see the screen now. I don't know what happened.
I request you to please leave and then
So,
rejoin this meeting. I might have, you might have certain
okay.
internet issues.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, I will come back now.
Okay, thank you. All right. So I believe that his screen is visible to all others, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Uh, okay. So I'm talking about the best practices for mapping a process, and in the best practice, which gives you an idea how to particularly make a process and a fruitful outcome. What exactly you can understand with the help of this process, it reflects how you can make a decision on a particular stages. Okay, so you are documenting each and everything along the way, along the journey. So this particular process is important enough to understand how and what are the limitations of each and everyone, those who are involved in it, because there are different department people involved in particular business. So you have to ensure that each and everything is getting involved while making a process. So which means that you have to ensure that right type of process needed to be built. Okay, so and in that thing as well, you have to be clear about what you are going to focus on, because the thing is like, if you have a certain objective in your mind, then it will give you a understanding what I need to do in particular time, what exactly I need to reflect on, and if I will achieve this part, what will be the outcome will, all right, after completing this particular part. So this two things, first one is the you need to build in order to get the each and everyone involved in your process. Then you have to be clear enough to understand what exactly your outcome will be. Then once you did this thing, you have to ensure that this mapping is being validated enough, or you have to draw some line on it, that okay, this part is clear to this certain people, and then this part is clear to the tester, let's suppose, and this part is clear for the supply chain people. So these kind of outline you give in order to understand that okay, these people are involved in your cycle or in your process. And don't fix your process, because until you are not going to map it fully, then please do not fix it, because you have to build with the right kind of people, those who are involved in it. So make it simple, make it easy to understand, and work with the client or a stakeholder to understand each and everything which is needed to be included during building this particular process. And once you include all the key stakeholders or the client, you should have a possible mapping done then and there itself, because those are the important things which you have already been taken care of. So make sure your process maps easy and simple and possible to read by anyone, those who are involved. So these are the best practices of mapping a process. And in your screen, you can see that even I get to know that from the left hand side, I have an incoming lead, and then from the right hand side, I might have a account or contact has been created for that particular lead, right? So this is being easily and understood that okay, from the left side my process getting started, and from the right side my process is getting done, completed. In the single process you have each and everyone involved, the marketing people, the sales people, or might be account people, or might be supply chain people, because they are dealing with those kind of things. Lead have ensured that okay, there is a product which is needed by this particular lead, or there is a process which lead is getting interested in. But if that lead is qualified enough to convert it into the account or contact or opportunities, whether this particular lead is subscribed to our product already or not, then these kind of queries you are building then and there itself, and this is easily been readable with the help of certain visual representations, and that representation is a mapping of a process. All right. So based on certain criteria which you can see in the lead score, which is 8 or above, right? So if score is 8 or above, then I will be able to assign that particular lead to a certain salespeople, and then those salespeople will convert that lead to the account and contact, because that lead is score higher. We have certain criteria for that particular lead. That's why we are now getting converted, that lead is been getting converted to account and opportunities or contact. If there is no opportunities which is been, we have already talked about, like there are qualify enough or maintain that particular leave, then we do not need opportunities. They are not they are not subscribed to our product, then we are not going to build that opportunity for that particular product. That is also a criteria which we have ensured while converting the lead. So this particular five-step process is easily be understood by each and everyone those who are involved in the process or in a product mapping thing. Okay, so this is how a process is being mapped. Is there any queries? This particular diagram is just for the
So can you please
representation part. Yes, please.
okay. Uh, that privacy record and the dedupe lead, I didn't understand that part. Actually, dedupe and then the consolidated one, the privacy record
Okay,
and the
okay,
dedupe one. I'm
okay,
not sure. I didn't understand that. Yeah.
okay, no issue. The thing is like dedupe means like this particular lead is new for us or is already been existing in our system, right? There might be a duplicate lead. Let's suppose you worked in a particular account, and in the particular account there are multiple people involved in it, multiple contact you can say, right? So let's suppose one lead is already been existing as a contact in our system, might be possible, right? So we need to look into that contact as well once we are creating a new lead. And in Salesforce there is a feature of duplicacy, which says that if this particular lead is duplicated and already been existing based on the email or phone number or certain criteria which we have given to the Salesforce, then that particular Salesforce itself told us that okay, hey Naman, this is already been existing in our system. Do not create this particular lead because this has already been existing. So that deduct leap, or you can say, is helpful to understand whether we have to create a new one or we can use that particular existing one. And then once it's done, we have to consolidate enough that okay, now we have to clear. Now we have a clear understanding that okay, this is needed a new one in our system. Then we qualify that particular lead and then maintain that particular lead in order to move ahead in our process. So that's what deduct means, or you can say duplicacy means. Is it clear?
Yeah. Yes, it's clear. Yes.
All right. So I believe those people who have already been consistent in our session, they have an idea that we have talked about UPN in our 1 hour day two, right? So in UPN, we just have a get a glimpse what exactly UPN is and how UPN needed to be built. But you can see in this particular slide that UPN gives you an idea what exactly let's suppose first one, there is a number written over there, right? First, second, third, fourth, sixth, till sixth. So in the first one itself, you can see that particular box is the activity box, which says that there is a request which has been coming to your process or to your system. And in the second one, which says R as a responsible person, and A is a person those who are accountable for particular thing, and C are those people those who are consulted enough. you know wi- uh, First one, you are responsible, then you are accountable, then you need a consultant from someone else, and then I are those people those who are informed that okay, these are the things which I needed. So in the second box, you can see this is the resource box. First one was a activity box, second one is a resource box, and in the resource box, you designated that people, those who are responsible, those who are accountable, who are consulted, who are responsible for consulting basically, and who needed to be informed for a particular process to get a support from. And then you have a line with text, you can see in the third one. Line with text connect each and everything from each and everything, like suppose activity got connected with uh, resources, or it gives you a representation basically from where a particular thing is been coming until when it is going out. And then you have a fourth one which says that attachment. If you have a certain document or certain matrix, we have talked about matrices of performance, right? To measure a performance for a particular person, those documents is being attached for a particular step, for a particular stage, you can say, right? So attachment align with your resources, and then based on that you have a fifth one which says decision. With the help of alignment, with the help of resources, with the help of activity box and the attachment, you make sure that decision has to be taken care of, and you basically took a decision on this particular thing. So on fifth, you have several lines coming out from activity box, right? And this particular line gives you a representation of decision, of taking a decision. Just to simplify this particular diagram, we have ensure this one, two, three, four, five, and then you have sixth box which says drill down. So in any activity box can drill down to a lower level diagram. You can see, right? So you can easily understood that okay, first one is giving you a request support, second one is giving you an understanding who all are the people those who are involved in it. See, in R, these are the responsible people. A gives you an understanding, these are the accountable person. I gives you the informative person that these people need to be informed enough. And then C are those people, those who are consulted. So C, C are the people, those who needed to be consulted. So these RACI matrix gives you an understanding, and this visual diagrams is a UPN. Okay. Uh, I might have to ask one other thing. What is exactly UPN means? What exactly UPN is all about?
That is a universal process notation.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Right. So a universal process notation, it means that it has been universally accepted by each and every company to ensure that this particular acronyms will be used while making this particular process. Right.
Mhm.
So in first one, I'm repeating that this is the activity box, which means that people, those who have certain kind of request, they comes up in the first thing, which we mapped in activity box. Then after based on activity box, we moved to the resources where we talked about the people, those who are responsible, accountable, consulted, and informed. And then we have line with text which says that these particular things needed to be done, and they combine each and everything, or they basically aligned each and every boxes with each other. And then we have attachment supporting our document process. And then we based on this particular document or resource, we basically took a decision out of it. And then even on the sixth, you can see that drill down help you to minimize your diagram level, or you can drill down particular diagram to a lower level. So it's, you can see it's tighter, with fewer symbols, less ambiguous, and easy to read from left to right. So this is what exactly UPN means, right? The first thing you need to need notice is who, and the next thing you need to understand what, right? So on the first one, you can see that support agent has certain request. And on the third, you can see that okay, these are the people, those who are responsible for and accountable for this particular activity. Then you map that particular activity resource with the additional resource documents. And then you have certain corner that okay, now I need to drill down particular level. And then finally, with the help of those arrows, you get an idea that okay, what happened next, what will be happening next, right? Is there any queries or issues? Please do let me know.
This clock stop means the time we are taking, how many time we have to take, is that one, or the clock, when does the
Basic.
clock stop?
Okay, so the thing is like you are working on a deadline, you are working on a timeline basically, and you have to ensure that okay, my timeline has to be, fixed, because I cannot move my process to a certain deadline. I have to ensure that my particular task will be done by, let's suppose, EOD, end of the day. So that clock stop give you an idea. Okay, my clock is ticking, and I have to ensure that my this particular process has to be done with a full understanding about what are the SLAs, like your people, those who are involved in it. So this particular understanding give you an idea who all are responsible, to whom I need to talk to, and those people, those who are getting to be informed. Then you have to ensure that this particular thing will be done in a particular timeline, because you have to analyze your issues, you have to test your issues, and you might have to need it some another details while building a process. So you drill down those things. Drill down means like work in progress is there, or you have certain metrics is built on that, like you have to measure the performance of your sales people, customer people. And based on that particular thing, you have to ensure that each and everything is being completed within a certain clock time, right?
Yeah, got it.
So the thing is like certain times that your process not resolved, then you have to ensure that who are going to be responsible for particular issues. Because this diagram itself is easy to understand that okay, uh, first one report request has been completed, request has been arrived to us, and then we have to move forward forward to the people, those who are responsible for it. If it has been resolved, then okay, that okay, this particular process has been completed, customer is getting happy. But if it is not been completed, then you have to test this particular issue. And if you are not able to reproduce this issue, that request more details from the customer side. And if you are able to test this particular issue, then analyze this particular issue, whether you are able to fix that or not. If it has been fixed, then okay, the resolution needed to the customer, and then you have supporting document attached to it. If it has not been fixed, then again you have to analyze this particular issue, right? So this is particular step by step process gives you an idea how a particular process is being built, and how we analyze a particular project, or you can say a request from the customer side, in to ensure that particular customer getting happy, right, or satisfied.
Yes. Yes.
All right. So this particular UPN gives you an easy, or understanding way from the left to right, and gives you a clear understanding who are involved, what exactly we need to do, and even we can attach certain documents on it. Now we have certain principles attached to the UPN. So we just have talked about these things in a previous slide, but you have to look into this particular box, which says that how particular thing is needed to do, what will be going to do, who will be responsible, and what exactly systems we needed. And if this is being done, what all nodes, URL, images, attachment, anything we needed to support our process, to support our customer. And if it is being done, why does it happen in an initial stage, why customer was unhappy in an initial stage. So these are the things we needed in a UPN. They by with the help of this particular principles. There are five principles that okay, in a activity box there not be having any more than 8 or 10 activity box like request. We cannot more work on 10 requests at a single time. We cannot going to move ahead to produce those issues again and again. That's why we have limited request to work on a simultaneous time, and even drill down a particular level, so that we can have a understanding about what exactly we need to do. And then we have to attach certain document, so that we can support the information which are available. The once it's done, we should also give certain rights to the people those who are involved in it. View right, edit right, so that they can have an ability to download certain document, or even view certain notes or images. And then each and everything is been done, you need to understand what exactly has been done, and you need to have a full understanding what exactly has been done in the last time history, basically you can say, who has done some changes. So these are the principle of your UPN, which gives you a particular understanding, when does it happen, and what does it happen, who are responsible for it, and why does it happen in an initial stage, and how particular process is being done. I believe this is pretty easy to understand, but if there is any doubt, please do let me know. So okay, thank you. So moving forward, we have certain models as well, just like VPN and just like the process mapping. We will be looking into certain models which are built by different people, and they are being built for different people, built by different people and built for different people, basically. And they are day to day useful for other people as well. Whether you are a technical guy or whether you are non tech guy, at least you should have an understanding what exactly models are, and how a particular process involved many people in a single line of process. Okay, so in the models, we will be looking into the capability model first. And you can see this is the industry blueprint, basically, which gives you or which list out basically high level process areas, because this they are helpful for you, or basically you are they are useful for you to scoping each and everything which is being required for your requirement gathering session. They based out on your requirement for a specific area that you are going to map and show it to the customer in order to get a full understanding about your business. Okay, so in the capability model itself, you can see that first one is the market to lead. Then, in the lead, while the lead is in the market, we will be looking into the intelligence like customer intelligence, market segmentations. We will be looking into the campaigning, like how we can build a campaign, and based on the campaign, how we can collect the leads. And we will be looking into the offers and the journey of a customer. Once it's been done, we will be looking into the lead to prospect, because the lead is now been a prospect for us. And will in this particular stage, the lead generation comes in, the lead qualification comes in. We will be nurturing those lead. We will be looking into the opportunity side, whether this particular lead is been eligible enough to convert it into the opportunity or not, whether we have to create account for that or not, whether which channel is being useful for this particular lead, and what are the areas of this particular lead to take care of, the whether the sales or whether the channels which is being needed in order to ensure that lead is going to be converted into the prospect. Once it's done, the prospect is now going to be nurtured enough to understand whether they are contracted enough for other another step. So in this particular stage, we will be looking into the selling side, that okay, this particular product is needed to be sold to this particular customer or lead. So in this segment, we will be looking into our product services, or we will be looking into our catalog management as well, whether the we will be nurturing that lead or not, whether this particular price is enough for this particular lead. So we will be also looking into the quote management. All right, we have to ensure that quotation is being generated for this lead, and based on the quotation and based on the discussion, we will be looking into the forecasting as well. Once it's done and the contract is being completed, we will now look into the another stage, which is the ordering process. So in the ordering process, we will look into the contract management, we will look into the price management, negotiation part, right? We will be looking into the order capturing, from where we have to and ship this particular product to the customer, from where we have to ensure that okay, supply of our product is being completed, and by which deadline this product is to be shipped to the customer. And then, based on this contract management process, we also looked into the project management, because now we are moving ahead with our sales lead, and then the particular sales process in the progress. So we are monitoring that project on our hand as well. Once it's done, we will be looking into the fulfillment model. The order is being completed, and now full is it being fulfilled, or customer is getting satisfied, or is there any billing issues, or is there any issues which has been if we have provided certain software, is there any issues while installing those particular software from the customer side. So all those management, or you can say all those assets management, because the product is the assets for us, right? So all those assets management is now happening in this particular uh, stage. Once it's done, we will be looking into the service model, because now customer is having our product, but and they are fulfilled enough. Now they might have been using our product since long. So whether they are getting some kind of issues after using it for months, so we have to ensure after sales services as well, warranty, quality issues, right? Service contract, how much service contract is there, whether we have ensure whether we have 3 month contract, 4 month contract. So each and everything, whether we are going to provide support for this particular customer till the lifetime. So these kind of things needed to be taken care of. And once it's done, we also looked into whether the particular lead is going to be renewed for us or not, whether we are going to repair for their particular issues, whether we are getting any kind of billing or any kind of management from that particular lead. So this particular renewal process, or you can say field service management, comes into the picture. All right. So in this particular lead blueprint, this is a high level project basically, which gives you an understanding who all are involved, what are the stages involved in each and every step, and what exactly tools and technology needed to ensure this particular lead is now and using a product, and even we are supporting that particular lead after the product is being delivered to that particular lead. So each and everything, whether this has been IoT, whether this has been security compliances, whether we are providing some kind of software, whether we are providing some kind of data migration facilities, or we are providing certain requirements to this particular customer. So each and everything is been involved in this particular blueprint, which gives you an understanding what exactly customer needed and how we have to fulfill that particular customer. Is there any issues in this particular blueprint? All right. So we have another model to look into. There are, I believe definitely if you have done MBA or not, but at least you might have come across this kind of flow diagram in your college days, which says that supply, input, process, output, customer, right? Because this is a basic model which gives you a 5 step understanding who all are involved, what exactly their work is, or what is exactly we needed, and what exactly the output will be, whether a customer is getting involved from the input side or whether the customer is now having a end result only, and what are the suppliers and what are the resources for input. So this particular Sipoc basically gives you an understanding about supplier, input, process, output, and customer. Basically, this is an ideal for each and every process, because these are the people, and they are definitely going to be involved in each and every process, whether a complex process or whether a simple process. But these people are definitely will be there. It is also great when you need to define a particular scope of the complex process, so that you should have an understanding what supplier needed and how customer will be satisfied. So in the scope building with the help of customers, this particular process also fruitful. So I believe this is pretty easy to understand. And in the near you can see value stream mapping. Value stream mapping is also a visualization of the flow of material and information. Basically, it gives you an understanding about the material and information which has been involved in the process. Or you can see, let's suppose you want this particular type, let's ideally what you want is to map from the customer side, from the supplier side to the customer side, right? So you want to use this type of map to record the measurement of input and output of the process, to identify what exactly the wastages are, and even in each and every process which are having certain stages, what exactly the waste on that particular project or process itself, stages itself. So you can also ensure that okay, I might have used this document or analyze this particular stage to improve a certain information or certain material, so that you can have a full understanding about a process. So this visual or you can say representation of value stream mapping gives you an understanding about your timeline, about your product flow, or about your information flow. Information having three people involved in it: the supplier, or the people those who are actually working on your process, and the customer. And the product is like iteration of the particular stages. And timeline gives you an understanding: months, hour, minutes, days, right, quarter, these kind of things. So this particular value stream mapping helps you to understand who all are involved and what are my timeline. Basically helpful for material and information only. So these two model I believe pretty easy to understand. Still, if you have any kind of issues, please do let me know. Guys, please do let me know.
It's clear.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you. Please feel free to speak up, yeah. I know I talked a lot, but feel free to interrupt me in between, so that I at least have an idea. Okay, you guys are listening to me. I'm not teaching anything, I'm just sharing what exactly I know. All right, so please interrupt me whether you have any kind of queries, whether you want to ask something. Please feel free to interrupt. This is a discussion, this is not a teaching session. Now, moving forward with our journey, we have we have covered till now the process mapping for the people those who are involved in the process, and then now we are looking forward the journey mapping, how a journey is being mapped and what exactly a journey is all about. So journey, I might have to take this session a longer. As usual, this is to be completed by today itself in order to keep a timeline. So if it has been possible for you to, can I take half an hour more?
Yes, 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 you can.
Okay, okay, thank you so much, thank you. Bear with me, please. So, okay, coming back to the journey. So, journey mapping is basically a documentation, or you can see a visual illustration that experience customer and have those who are involved in a particular business. In this example, we have talked about a particular customer, those who are engaging with a company service department, and once this company service department got a request from that particular customer, the thing is, like, let's suppose we have certain request, and we have called the Airtel service center or our mobile service center. They enrolled ourselves, and they have raised a ticket based on our queries. So the same kind of journey I am talking about in this particular slide. Okay, so think in the segmentation of the service department people. They enrolled the particular person, and those who are subscribed to this our services, and then they are mapping those out, or you can say they are mapping those outlines, or you can say a step where particular customer get from, right, those who are the interaction which is being done by the customer. So they put their shoes, put their legs on the customer shoes, and then looked into the customer perspective what exactly the customer is facing. All right, so they start mapping the from the customer side, and then after enrollment, which is the step 1, the customer calls with a question, the step 2, which is a request, okay, to the service representative. And then service representative, what he do or what she do, they request for the services, or they open this particular request for that particular service and send them that, okay, your request has been generated. This is the email confirmation from our side, or this is a token number from our side. They provide a certain token number, or you can say an number which helpful for a particular customer to talk about in a future itself. Meanwhile, the representative, who is me right now, I might have to ask from other people that also, that okay, whether this particular customer comes to our service center previously or not. If it is not done, I need to check, okay, that okay, you have to ensure that okay, your service is needed to be completed. Then, which is a step fourth, I have to create a new customer required a record and update it accordingly, and then reflect it in our online portal so that other people can also view, and even a customer can view that okay, my name has been now registered with the service center people, right? So throughout this particular process, there might be a possibility that I can have words with my colleagues as well to understand why this particular customer is facing this issues, or might have been this customer is already been existing in our system. What exactly we need to do, how whether we have to ensure that we need to provide certain special discounts or certain things to complete this request, right? So I am again iterating. The first one is that customer raise a request to the representative then open a new request and send them the email confirmation that okay, your request is being complete generated, and we are looking into it. Meanwhile, we will look into the history of the customer, and once we looked into the history, whether they are existing one or not, then we will create a new record and update the customer details in our portal so that customer and other people can view that particular customer details or the issues which he has been facing. The journey map cover all the data, all the steps basically, in order to understand full customer journey basically, right? All of this gives you a full understanding about how a customer has raised a query and how a particular customer is now being enrolled with herself, and we have to ensure that each and everything is being covered, each and everything is being captured, so that we can make a difference between you can say a satisfied experience or a terrible one, right? So this is what journey mapping is all about, from the request side to the ending point. We have to ensure that each and everything is being covered. Is there any issues or queries? So what we have done is just stepping all the activities of the customer which they have taken in order to accomplish a particular goal. We also looked into the challenges what they have been facing, and while they have been facing to achieve certain kind of goals. And even we have also looked into the people, those who have been interactive with that particular customer, or might be in a single organization there are different people. Even they have talked with the single customer. And then we have also looked into the touch points, or you can say channel, where a particular customer has encountered a particular hurdle, or you can say issues, in order to accomplish a certain goal, whether they are using certain devices or application, anything. And then we also looked into the feelings of the customer, thoughts of the customer, and how they will be going to react on a particular step. So these things is being taken care with the help of journey mapping, right? Oh, my bad. So in the journey mapping, how we can create, as I told you, the journey is basically built from the starting point to the ending point, and these are the phases of journey mapping. Basically, you can see there are certain phases available. First one is the phases which is having a distinct stages available on a certain uh, you can say stages, or you can say a step, right? So in the phases there are distinct stages involved in it, might be awareness, consideration, purchase, onboarding, or advocacy. Then we have actions to take care of. what exactly the customer need to do, and how we can ensure that action has been done for the customer query. And then we will be looking into the thoughts as well, what exactly the customer is thinking at this particular point, and whether we are aligned with their thought or not. Might be we have to ensure that customer should not get a negative thoughts in their mind. So changes are here in order to give them certain basic experiences based on our product. We have to ensure that they have a full understanding about a product, and they might not get into a negative thought process. And then we will look into the feeling, like whether the customer is feeling happy or being engaged enough in a process, how they will be happy, and ensuring that okay, this is to be done in order to make them happy, right? Then we will look into the touch points, whether your brand, product, or service. These are the things which comes into this particular portion. And these are the things when you are going to reach out to the customer in order to or might be customer is reaching to us with the help of these touch points: brand, product, services, anything, application, anything. And then we will look into the context, whether the environment, social, time, work, when what exactly the important thing is, right? So in the context, the environmental context, social context, time factor context, each and everything which are important either to us or either to the customers in order to achieve certain goal is being taken care of. In order to produce your process in a fruitful manner, you have to look into these phases and actions, thoughts, feelings, touch point, context. Thus you have an opportunity to convert that particular lead in a client, or you won a particular opportunity, right? So where and how you will do it, with the help of certain touch points, with the help of certain feelings controlment, or whether you have to ensure that the thoughts for the customer will be taken care by you, so that they will get a full understanding about your product or process. This is how you build a customer journey, or this is how you can create a journey. Is there any issues?
So is it like the user story you were telling, or is it
No,
different?
no, 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 no. No. This is just a journey of a customer. Journey
Okay.
like uh, we have talked about here as a request for the customer service, right? So
Okay.
in
Mhm.
this particular journey, a customer has requested something. Let's suppose you are facing an issue with your Airtel mobile phone or a network in your mobile phone. Then you raised a complaint that my weather is not weather is having some kind of, I do have issue related to the my network because weather conditions are not good in my area. And you reach out to the customer care of Airtel or Geo, anything which you are using. Then that particular customer representative help you to provide certain kind of solution to you, so that you can get satisfied that okay, now I am satisfied that my internet is working fine. So that journey is being built by you, by certain people, those who are involved in it. And that is the phases which is being taken care of. That is not a
Okay.
user story, it's a
Okay.
real
Got
time
it.
scenario,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
right?
Yes. Yes. Got it.
We will be looking into the user story, but that is a different segment.
Okay. Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Now, looking into the Salesforce specific diagram, basically, so we have different diagrams available to us, and let me share you a link with you all, so that you can get an idea how particular person, those who we can say are architect, build a particular framework in order to achieve certain outcomes for their process, right? So you can see on this particular slide, there are various diagrams available to you, right? So what exactly we need to do in this particular area? You need to think that your partner is doing certain thing. Let's suppose you are a third party people, and I need to take